Welcome to another episode of The Canon, where I bring you the latest in comic book and superhero movie news. I'm your host, Terry, and I'm ready to bring you the stuff that matters. And we're starting with a brand new Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 trailer. So this trailer debuted on Jimmy Kimmel a little bit last night, as Jimmy Kimmel has all the scoops. And we are getting a little bit closer towards the movie, so we get to see a little bit more than we've seen in the other trailers, including our first look at Kurt Russell as Ego the Living Planet. So for me, I am going to keep this trailer. This is the trailer that really got me a little bit more hyped up. I think in the past my hype meter hasn't been super high, but my hype meter for the movie has gone up to maybe a 4 after this trailer. As I've said previously, I've seen the first one time. I went to the theater. And I know I really did like it, but for me it just wasn't one of those top movies for me. I know people went absolutely nuts for it, and I really liked it. I just wasn't crazy about it like everybody else. So with number 2 coming out, and with all this talk of it doesn't connect to the main story and all this other stuff, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna go see it. I'm sure it'll be good, but just nothing I was excited for. But after looking at this trailer, it did kind of remind me like this movie has its own flavor. I was kind of worried about Star Wars and Star Trek, which I ended up really liking. I was worried about all the space movies where these two had their own foothold in the genre, and where does Guardians really fall? But looking at this, they really have their own style. They have their own flavor, where it's the old school music, and it's the comedy, it's the over the top stuff. Just looking at the guns and all the stuff they use, it's fun, it's over the top. They know what they are. They aren't taking themselves seriously. So that does make me more excited to see that they know exactly what the movie should be. You think about Suicide Squad, which I did like, but you saw the studio really try to change it into something it wasn't. They tried to change it into this. And for Suicide Squad, I think it was shot with a very different intention. And it was supposed to be something different with villains, but the executives wanted it to make a hit like Guardians did. And I think Guardians did it first. They did it well. And it fits with their characters. They're not villains. They're not superheroes, but they are kind of former criminals that, have hearts of gold. And it really works out. Seeing Kurt Russell wasn't that exciting to me. I was actually a little bit disappointed because while I know he is a living planet and he has kind of avatars that speak to humans, I was just a little upset because I thought this movie was going to be more about the mystery of finding out who he is. It seems like the galaxy is under attack again and they got to save it, and him running into his dad is just kind of along the way. I was hoping it was more about uncovering a mystery of who he was, which I think could have been done in a fun way, but I guess wasn't really the Guardians story that they were looking to tell. So it should still be fun, but I was just hoping it was more mysterious of how he found out his dad, not just like, oh, we're running to each other, oh, I'm your dad. So I don't know, we'll see how that kind of plays out. But overall, I just really did like the story or the trailer. I don't like that they're adding new people to the group. Like Yondu was kind of already there, but Mantis and Nebula, it's like, okay, we just saw the formation of this group. Can we get another movie of them having adventures before we start adding people? So that part I don't really like as much. I'm not excited for, but I am excited to see the chemistry between the original Guardians group. It's just pretty fun. So I need to at some point really watch Guardians, the first one again, but maybe I'll watch it before that number 2 comes out. So anyway, our next bit of news, speaking of Suicide Squad, Suicide Squad is a Oscar winner. Yes, Academy Award winning Suicide Squad. Do not disrespect you. And it was fun for me. I'll keep it, of course. It was fun for me just, because I do like most of DC movies, and a lot of people will whine and complain and hate on it. And you can debate about it, fine, but some people just go overboard. And they have an Oscar. It's funny because nobody else has an Oscar. Marvel doesn't have an Oscar, Fox or anybody else. I mean, technically, Warner Brothers already had an Oscar with Heath Ledger winning an Oscar for Best Actor playing the Joker, but it was a post-mortem award. But for real, in our current state, they have an Oscar. And so some people are like, oh, it's hair and makeup. Oscar is Oscar. Nobody's walking home like, oh, I only got Oscar for supporting actor. No, you got an Oscar. That's the highest achievement you can make in a movie. While for me it was, I don't think it was crazy, but they won. They were recognized for something. And I joke about the rivalry DC and MCU. What this really is a big win for the genre of superhero and comic book movies. And as many fanboys want to keep fighting about it, go ahead. And everybody's trying to make the hashtags. Fine, whatever. I don't care. I like the movie, you don't, fine. But realize that what this means for the genre. Now, every year or so, we get nominations for the genre. But they're always in the same categories like hair and makeup, costumes, visual effects. We haven't got to the point where it's the big nominations yet. And that's fine. It won't happen overnight. But going from nothing to nominations to a winner is big. And it should be celebrated by Marvel, DC, Fox, Spider-Man, whoever fan you are. It should be celebrated because this only furthers the genre. And as much as we like this stuff, as much money as it makes, there is going to come a time where it's not at the peak anymore. And so what's going to keep this going is those recognitions and people seeing these movies as not just, oh, it's a comic book movie, it's a superhero movie, but really seeing it as, oh no, this is a quality movie about superheroes, comic books, whatever, and really accepting it as part of the discussion. I haven't seen Logan yet. That'll be coming soon, my review. But a lot of talk is, I don't think it's going to win anything, but a lot of talk is this is a big step forward for the superhero movies. And as much as I like Marvel, I do have my issues with them. And one of the big ones is they don't take much risk. It's very cookie cutter. You know, that it is what it is. It makes money. People like it, fine. But it's never going to win anything. It's never going to take that step forward. And so from everything we're hearing, Logan does that. So whatever your thoughts of Suicide Squad, I think is big for the genre that they want. But sticking with Suicide Squad, you have director Mel Gibson, Academy Award nominated and winning Mel Gibson, recently confirming that he is in early talks with Warner Brothers about Suicide Squad 2. So he basically says yes, that he had a meeting with them talking about it. Didn't confirm that he's doing anything, didn't say if he likes it one way or another, just saying that yes, those are confirmed. So it's nice when things get confirmed. Again, we heard that Warner Brothers is looking at Mel Gibson. That could have meant nothing. But the fact that now Mel is confirming that yes, they are talking, that's a good sign. And it does at least confirm that part. I kind of had my thoughts on Mel Gibson directing Suicide Squad 2 already. But I'm going to keep this just because, you know, like I said, it's nice to know officially that is their target. And at least that gives you an idea of what direction the DCU is trying to aim for. As you know, Mel Gibson is a very strong director, but he isn't the over-the-top director. He isn't the visual just for visual's sake. He's a strong storyteller. So this kind of gives a scope to where they're trying to head, which is maybe a more grounded story, which it probably should have been in the first place. But I'm just interested. That's all I say. I'm interested because I would never peg Mel Gibson for this type of movie. But having villains, this could be something different. The only thing I have a problem with is that if Mel Gibson does exactly what everybody's thinking he's going to do with Suicide Squad 2, it's going to be nothing like the first Suicide Squad. And I like the Suicide Squad. Definitely think it can be better. And I would enjoy a grounded story. but we already saw one version of it. So it's going to be hard to really just completely jump to the other extreme. That's what I'm scared about with Justice League as well. It's like the studio's like, okay, we did this, now let's jump to the other extreme. And it's just funny because the rallying cry against DC is always, it's dark and dour. It's not like Marvel, so that's why it fails. And I've already talked about how stupid that idea is. But you just look at Suicide Squad, made it fun. They made it musical, they made it colorful, they made the villains try to have fun. This movie sucks. Alright, well, let's go ahead and try to get someone to ground this story, make it more contained, make it more gritty. Oh yeah, so Justice League, Batman vs was so dark and gritty. Let's make it more fun and have fun. Obviously, the tone is not the major issue there. And it's just funny how people argue against DCU and just continue to just say stuff without even realizing they're contradicting themselves. But anyway, that's what I'm worried about. I think Mel Gibson, great talent. I think he'd do great with this material. I'm just worried about how that's going to balance with what we saw in the first movie and how we already feel about the characters. Alright, so this kind of stays on the Suicide Squad thread, kind of. You have David Ayer, who directed Suicide Squad, is now on the project for Gotham City Sirens. And he tweeted out an image of Black Mask from the comics. And a lot of people are speculating, does this mean that Black Mask is going to be the main villain in Gotham City Sirens? I'm going to keep this theory because a lot of people will say, well, that doesn't mean anything, this, that, and the other. And I know I'm saying if it's not confirmed, it's not confirmed. But to say, oh, well, don't think anything about it, I think that's goofy. There's no reason that directors, especially ones that you know are attached to movies, are going to randomly tweet out stuff with comics. Especially if they've never done it before. Now, if the guy's tweeting out him reading comics or different comics he reads every single day, fine. But if he's working on a DC movie, he tweets out a picture of a comic of a DC villain. That's not by randomness. That's just like when Benedict Cumberbatch and Scott Derrickson, they've had tweets of them reading Doctor Strange before they start shooting. And some people were just like, oh, that doesn't mean anything. The guy is playing Doctor Strange and the guy is directing Doctor Strange. The reading comics is obviously tied to what they're doing with the movie. So let's just be smart here. Yes, I think it's not confirmed, but I think right now David Ayer is considering and writing Black Mask in as the main villain or part of the movie in general. He's not just showing you that for any reason. And David Ayer is a media guy that likes to tease it, or a social media guy that likes to tease this thing. So I don't think it's random. And so if it's the case, let's assume he's the main villain. Absolutely love that pick. Black Mask is so underutilized to me, and just from his looks alone, I mean, not even digging much into the character, just the way he looked, I always thought like, yes, why are people not using him more? And he's been depicted, I think, greatly in the animated movies, so we'll see what way they go with him, but I think visually I'm just seeing not like the kind of charcoal burnt up skull, but really kind of like a chrome black skull. I'm just imagining how amazing that would actually look. So for anything, if it's just a visual, I'm definitely keeping that. And I still don't think you need a Gotham Sirens movie at all. But if you're going to do it, if you have to do it, I think putting Black Mask in there would be cool because, as you know, Gotham City Sirens, some of them are villains. And so Black Mask is a villain. So how does that conflict go together? And then really, what does that mean for Harley Quinn and Suicide Squad? Now, she left the squad at the end, so it could set up where she's not in Suicide Squad 2. But I think that'd be weird and a whole nother list of problems. But anyway, so yes, that is the news for today. Please go to the comment section. Let me know what you thought. Subscribe, click thumbs up, like, all those fun things. Stick around, coming soon for the Logan review. And if you heard it here, it's official canon.